good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction, man. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. Now listen, man, you laugh at this hotel room until you look inside. Now, I don't know about you, but that has me rather intrigued about a hotel room that you laugh at until you look inside, meaning, because we always judge hotels by their look, the outside appearance. If it kind of looks like the Bates Motel, we ain't trying to stay there, fam. We just not, you know what I mean? We don't care how the inside looks. So this is intriguing to me, all right? So we're gonna check this video out, and then we're gonna check out 10 dangerous jobs only the bravest people can have. Only the bravest people, all right? So we're gonna get into these two videos, man. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, man, and enjoy. Here we go.
People love to travel and see all the sights around the world. And when they do, they usually stay in hotels of one kind or another.
Whoa, 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 oh la la, oh, whoa.
Whether they're shabby one-star digs or luxurious five-star...
No, it's not no whether they're shabby one-star digs. I don't know of anybody who's sought after the one-star hotel to stay in. Like, yeah, that's the one right there. We never been. Let's try that one tonight, honey.
Resorts.
Nah, that's not what we looking for. We looking for, like, you know, 4 stars or better, 3s if we gotta go that low. You know what I mean?
Hotels usually aren't the most memorable part of the trip. In fact, people usually just stay in them overnight and spend the rest of the day outdoors. But today, we're going to be looking at some of the most unusual hotels around the world that are definitely the main event of any getaway. And while some are amazing and breathtaking, believe me when I say, some are absolutely unbelievable and frankly, quite terrifying. Want to know more about them? Well then, let's get it on. The Manta Resort, Tanzania. You've probably heard of a room with a seaside view, but at the Manta Resort near Pemba Island in Tanzania, that side is the underside. Located 273 yards off the coast, this tiny hotel is suspended right in the middle of the Manta Reef, a beautiful coral reef famous for its colorful and abundant sea life. The secluded...
I would be nervous as I don't know what, man, when it got dark, bro. Oh, heck nah.
2-story hotel's lower room is nestled 13 feet under the crystal clear waters, with large windows providing a fisheye view to the surrounding hustle and bustle of the reef. At night, guests can enjoy sleeping in complete darkness and tranquility, while the soft waves rock them to sleep. Or they can turn on specially fitted lights in the windows engineered to attract sea life and keep their private show going.
Oh my God, you got stuff that'll attract oh my gosh, nah, nope. I'm gonna show this to Queen though.
You just better hope you don't get seasick. Frying Pan Hotel, South Carolina, USA.
What?
What happens when you mix an abandoned lighthouse, a reef full of
See, y'all better thank me if y'all go to some of these places that you never heard of before, and y'all get there and y'all have fun. Y'all make sure y'all send me a postcard.
Sharks and a passionate crew who love to have fun. You get the craziest adventure hotel on the planet, the Frying Pan Hotel. Located 34 miles away from the nearest land, once you've arrived on this floating hotel, you better believe you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
What did that look like to y'all? The movie Deep Blue Sea, right? Anybody else thought that, or is it just me?
However, with all the fun things there are to do, you probably won't want to leave even when checkout time comes. While the 90-foot-high walkways and ocean full of sharks surrounding it might make many travelers want to stay far, far away,
right.
The Frying Pan is an adventurer's paradise. Guests here are treated to a nice fried breakfast in bed, and then are treated to a day full of extreme activities, like parachuting off the 135-foot-high hotel into the shark-infested waters below, hitting special golf balls that turn into fish food into the shark-infested waters below. Testing their balance by slacklining over the shark-infested waters.
What's the common word he keeps saying? Shark-infested waters. Why do I...
below, or even snorkeling in the... well, you get the point. If you can get over the fear of being in the middle of the ocean, the Frying Pan is definitely one of the coolest vacation spots around. Crane Hotel Veranda, Amsterdam.
Only thing I'm mad about is they not showing the prices. I can imagine what the prices per night of these establishments would be. Like beyond crazy, bro. Beyond crazy.
Netherlands. If you're afraid of heights, then this extreme hotel room is definitely not the one for you. Located on Amsterdam's waterfront, the Hotel Veranda is built inside of a repurposed construction crane. If you've ever wanted to feel like the world's most dedicated crane operator, you've come to the right place. Guests get to the suites by riding real freight elevators, the kind actual operators use. But once you step inside, you'd think you were in a luxury high-rise. The inside is decked out with high-end jacuzzis, TVs, beautiful artwork, and floor-to-ceiling windows, providing a truly unique view of the city, with no other buildings around blocking your view. You can watch the Dutch sunset from the jacuzzi on the roof, or take a daring walk along the arm of the crane. Just be sure to look out and not down. As if that weren't extreme enough, the hotel's equipped with a bungee cord, so guests can jump off the top of the arm over the waterfront. At least you won't have to wait for the elevator. Snow Village Ice Hotel, Finland. While the other hotels on this list might be cool, they've got absolutely nothing on the Snow Village in Finland. This enormous hotel is made entirely out of real ice and snow, and is made from scratch every single year, with new rooms and ideas included every time, meaning no two winter getaways here will ever be the same. The 2018 hotel was built in collaboration with HBO and featured a Game of Thrones theme, complete with ice sculptures from the Iron Throne, dragons, and characters from the popular program. If guests weren't caught up, they could always binge the latest seasons in the Ice movie theater, complete with seats and a screen made entire—
Fam, they're actually laying on ice. Like, no, 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 that's not appealing to me. That's not fun for me. That's just, nah, no.
Entirely out of ice. After having a complimentary Michelin star meal in the massive ice restaurant on tables made of, you guessed it, ice, guests can head over to the ice bar and have drinks that are always served cold in crafted ice cups. There are 30 completely unique, massive suites, each equipped with giant ice sculptures commissioned by the most famous ice sculptors on the planet. While there are regular warm rooms not made of ice, if guests manage to make it through a full night staying in one of the ice beds, they're rewarded with a certificate, which they can now show off at job interviews to prove just how awesome they really are. Sky Lodge Hotel, Peru. Vacations are all about getting away from your everyday life. And while for some that means relaxing in a high-rise hotel room with a view, extreme vacationers in Peru can take that a step further at the Sky Lodge Hotel. Well, really, about 5,000 steps up a mountain. The plexiglass rooms of this unique hotel literally hang off the side of a mountain. An
earthquake in that area would suck. Would suck.
1,000 feet in the sky. The only way to get up to your bed is to climb, meaning you'll definitely be needing a nap the second you get up there. With their completely see-through walls, floor, and ceiling, and their rounded shape, the hanging rooms provide an incredible unobscured view of the surrounding area, and come with butlers who will actually climb all the way up the mountain just to bring you some room service.
You get up there, you're like, I asked for ketchup for the fries. There's no ketchup. Butler would be pissed.
Talk about going the extra mile at work. Oh, and don't worry about having to climb all the way back down. You can just take the zip line. I don't know about you, but no matter how great the view is, this hotel room might just be a bit too terrifying for me to wake up in.
Thank you.
Hotel Kokslainen, Finland. Remember that song about living in a winter wonderland? Well, just play it in your head. We're not trying to get any copyright strikes. But this Finnish hotel might be the most literal take on that song around. Besides a nearly impossible to pronounce name, this extreme hotel provides guests with individual igloos made of special temperate glass, made to withstand the below freezing temperatures outside without frosting over. As a result, you can get an unbelievable view of the northern lights while never feeling like they've left a warmer part of the world.
See, now that's not bad at all right there. See?
The hotel is only open from August to April, when the Aurora Borealis is at its most vibrant. The igloos have all the modern comforts you could want, like Wi-Fi and flat-screen TVs. But we all know the best show around is playing right outside the window. Mirror Cube Tree Hotel.
See, now that one, I'm with that one there. I can do that.
Hotel, Sweden. Have you ever wanted the power to be invisible? Well, with this incredible hotel room in Sweden, you can get about as close as anyone. Can't see it? Here, let's look from a different angle. Yeah, wow, right? Known as the Mirror Cube, this treehouse is the dream come true of tons of kids and supervillains alike. One of several unique rooms in the Tree Hotel in Sweden, including a giant bird's nest and a UFO house. The Mirror Cube is made of special reflective material that makes it blend right in with the scenic Swedish forest around it. Once inside, however, the wooden interior provides a cozy fantasy getaway, with beds built into holes in the walls, ladders leading to a rooftop balcony with a gorgeous 360-degree view, and bedside windows letting guests wake up to the beautiful scenery from a bird's eye view. You might want to make your reservations soon though. I hear Lex Luthor is looking for a new secret base. Nullstern Hotel, Swiss Alps. The main reasons people stay in hotels is to have a place to sleep in foreign places that's indoors. After all, the reason people live inside is protection from the elements, right?
But like, where's like your privacy? It's like no intimate moments with your significant other. Where's your privacy at? Like,
well, the Nullstern Hotel ticks the first box on that checklist, a place to sleep, but sort of skimps out on the second one. This hotel room looks like something straight out of a cartoon, having no walls or ceiling, just a floor and the furnishings of a bedroom smack in the middle of the Swiss Alps. While this might seem like a downside at first glance, the hotel provides guests with an unmatched 360-degree view of the Swiss Alps by day and an absolutely breathtaking wraparound view of the stars by night. The room comes equipped with a personal butler who provides guests with breakfast and dinner in bed, bottles of champagne, and since there's no Wi-Fi or TV, even his own bingeable streaming service. All in all, this hotel is perfect for anyone who wants to feel closer to nature. Wait, but
it would suck if the bugs is crazy out there.
What happens if it rains?
Right.
You said you wanted to be closer to nature, right? Well, for $360 per night, you sure can.
$360 a night? Bro, well, that ain't bad though. For that, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'd be worried about the weather too and the bugs. They would have to convince me of something. That ain't bad though.
No matter the circumstances, at some point in our lives, most of us have to get a job. And while we're all very familiar with the regular 9-to-5, there are in fact some pretty incredible people out there who take working to the extreme and take on some of the most life-threatening jobs around. While putting your life at risk for a paycheck might not seem worth it to some people, the fact is, somebody's gotta do it. And I'm happy there are people brave enough to volunteer so that people like you and I don't need to. So, let's dive right in and check out some of the world's most dangerous jobs in which people are somehow brave enough to do every day. Earning a living could cost you your life if you have one of these risky careers. Let's get it on. Smoke jumper.
What?
We all know what to do when we see a fire, right? Get as far as humanly possible and call for help. But, of course, someone has to be the help. Firefighters have one of the most dangerous and important jobs in the world.
Now, wildland firefighters are scary, bro. That's a scary job. One reason, like, because the fire, you can't really always predict which way it's going because the wind could come in and set in and completely change its direction and you be caught in the line of it and that stuff moves fast, you know what I'm saying? And they hand you like these little foil looking things to wrap up in and hope you survive, but it's like you in an oven, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Saving
lives and keeping people safe in the face of catastrophe. And while they're all incredibly brave, there are some firemen who are braver than others. Meet the smoke jumpers, the firefighter elite. In the entire United States, there are only 430 of them, and they do one of the most insane but crucial jobs around.
I've heard of smoke divers. I ain't never heard of smoke jumpers. I wonder if that's the same thing though.
And fight the fires nobody else can fight. You've probably heard of the California forest fires, which due to dry conditions have done billions of dollars in damage in the past few years alone. Well, these fires usually start out in the middle of the forest, where there are no roads or ways for traditional firefighters to get in, except for one, the sky. Smoke jumpers parachute directly into forest fires in order to keep them from spreading. Of course, one change in the wind as they're falling, and they can end up right in the middle of a blazing inferno.
See? I just said that. That's the scary thing about it, bro. And they cut like fire breaks to try to stop it, but if the wind is like strong enough, it'll jump that fire break and keep going.
Thankfully, they go through incredible intensive training and know exactly what to do in case that ever happens. Skydiving, terrifying. Fires, terrifying. Skydiving into a giant fire with no way out? Just another day at the office for the smoke jumpers. Mountain route driver.
Yes.
If you've ever driven along a mountain road, you're aware of how absolutely nerve-wracking
I tip my hat to these guys. They got nerves as steel.
they are. Sharp, winding turns, narrow lanes. But there are people who brave these roads on a daily basis and in some of the hardest to maneuver vehicles imaginable. In some parts of the world, buses are the only way to get from one place to another, and when these places have mountains between them, bus drivers have to be extraordinarily careful. After all, they're responsible not just for their own lives, but for the lives of everyone on board for the treacherous journey.
I don't think I could sleep during that at all. But some people are probably like, man, let me just sleep through this. Hopefully when I wake up, we're there. That way, if something happens, I died in my sleep. That'd be the only way, but my nerves wouldn't allow me to sleep through that. Nah, nope.
One wrong move and the entire bus can easily start careening over a cliff, down thousands of feet before hitting a very rough sudden stop. The fact that mountainsides can be known for not being particularly stable, along with memorials for unlucky crash victims littering the sides of the roads, can't make it easy to take on this job. But somehow these courageous chauffeurs steel their nerves and manage to get their passengers to their destination safely every day. Professional cliff diver. Many people grow up with the dream of one day being a professional athlete, and cliff diving is an extreme sport that's gained massive popularity the world over in recent years. Put the two together and you'll find the relatively fledgling world of professional cliff diving.
Oh my.
Started by Red Bull in 2011, the organization holds a handful of competitions for only the bravest and most extreme of cliff divers. Originally started in Hawaii, where men would jump off cliffs into the water below to prove their bravery, the original significance definitely still stands today, because you've gotta be hugely courageous to willingly jump off a cliff for fun. Most dives are from 50 to 80 feet in the air, with the highest being about 100 feet above the water. From heights like that, divers can hit the water at speeds of...
How? Because I've seen like Coast Guard movies and they say like, man, if you hit the water at from a certain height, it feels like you hitting concrete. I wonder what... That's crazy.
55 miles per hour, or almost as fast as a car on the highway. With those kinds of impacts, serious injuries can happen very easily with just one wrong move. So, professional cliff divers who compete in competitions have to undergo super hardcore training to know how to react every second from the time their feet leave the cliff. Even with all the precautions and safety personnel on hand at every competition, people often break bones or go into shock and nearly drown.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like hitting concrete. So yeah, I guess there has got to be a special way for them to move or contort their body or hit the water just right. And at those odds, man, that's a gamble. That's a gamble every time.
In cliff diving, not just one of the most terrifying, but one of the most dangerous professions around. Skyscraper window washer. It's often the case in life that little details can be much more impressive than the big things. And that's especially true in the case of skyscrapers. I mean, sure, a big building is cool and all, but have you ever stopped and noticed how clean the windows always seem to be? It's one part janitor and one part extreme sport.
No!
Repelling window washers have one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Starting at the tips of skyscrapers, sometimes thousands of feet in the air, they have to jump over the edge backwards with nothing but a rope harness securing them to the top. While jumping off the top of a building every day might seem like the most terrifying part, that's not even the half of it. While dangling from the harness, they have to clean the windows perfectly while being slung around by winds that can reach upwards of 40 miles per hour at some altitudes. Then, while the sun is still out, they have to make it all the way down, cleaning every floor's windows as they pass. The worst part is, by the time they get to the bottom, the upper floors have already gotten dirty again. So,
man, y'all better thank these guys and show your love and appreciation, because if these guys all go away one day and it's just left up to me, you better wait till the rain hit it and hope the rain clean it, because that's the only way you're gonna get some water from me, period. Like, I ain't getting out there, no.
Oh, they've got to do it all over again every single day.
No.
Icefall doctor. Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. Every year, more and more tourists come in by the thousands to get a shot at taking the most extreme selfie they're ever going to get. But for all those adrenaline-thirsty glory seekers to make it to the top of the mountain safely, the local Sherpas have to carve out the paths for them. Because of their familiarity with the mountain. On the way up, the Sherpas have to set up ladders and footholds to get tourists across massive crevices that are usually thousands of feet deep. To do this, they have to throw the ladders over the crevice, and then while it's still unsecured, crawl across on their hands and knees, with certain doom thousands of feet below them to make it to the other side and secure the ladders so that the tourists can get across safely. Being an icefall doctor is one of the deadliest jobs on the planet, and with constant avalanches changing the landscape of the mountain, these brave people have to find a new, unsecured path every time people try to climb Everest. Definitely one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet. Linemen.
All I can say is I hope these people are well compensated. Like, it shouldn't be like nothing for them. They shouldn't have to worry about anything with these type of jobs.
While their name might not be too familiar to you, linemen are actually some of the most important people in your day-to-day life. As a matter of fact, you couldn't be watching this video right now if it weren't for your local linemen. These brave men and women work to make sure that electricity continues flowing all over the grid, and are first on the scene when service is somehow interrupted, like when a tree falls on a power line. As crazy as it sounds, they have to actually fix the live wires by hand, with nothing more than some insulated rubber gloves between them and 1.21 gigavolts straight to the heart. For decades, linemen have consistently ranked as one of the top 10 deadliest jobs in the US, and it's not hard to see why. Electricity is nothing to play around with. One wrong move and, well, no pun intended, but it's lights out. Thankfully, these courageous workers are compensated pretty well, making on average $73,000 a year. Still,
that still ain't enough.
Amount of money is worth your life, so you've really got to have nerves of steel to take on being a lineman. Well, in this case, maybe nerves of rubber would be better. Electrician alpinist. What would you think of a job where you only had to change a light bulb once every 6 months? You probably wouldn't imagine it being a well-paid job. Well, think again, because that's where the brave electrical alpinists come into play. In order to make sure the bulbs atop radio towers never go out, these fearless engineers climb to the top every 6 months and replace the bulb. Working one day every 6 months might not seem like too bad of a gig, until you realize that the tallest radio towers can be well over 2,000 feet tall, and don't exactly come equipped with elevators. Electrical alpinists have to climb these colossal towers by hand with nothing more than a cloth harness they have to detach and reattach every few feet, keeping them from a very long fall. With that danger in mind though, electrical alpinists can make up to $20,000 per light bulb they change, with the average US salary being $67,000 a year. Not too bad for 2 or 3 days work, no matter how terrifying. Lifeguard. If you've ever been to the beach or a public pool, chances are you've come across a lifeguard before and thought they have a pretty relaxing job. After all, they get to tan all day out by the water and run on the beach in slow motion. Well, if you think that, then chances are you had a pretty good day on the water. Because when the time comes, lifeguards have an incredibly serious job. Lifeguards have to be ready to respond at a moment's notice if someone's drowning, stung by a jellyfish, or even attacked by a shark. On some especially dangerous beaches, like the famous surfing spot, the 7 Mile Stretch, lifeguards have to save as many as 20 people a day. Thankfully, through intensive training, good conditioning, and some serious courage, lifeguards are able to save tens of thousands of people every year, and look good while doing it. Wind turbine technician. Wind power is quickly becoming one of the most popular forms of green energy on the planet. It's pretty simple, right? Wind moves a fan on a turbine and that makes electricity. As always, it's never that simple. Those giant wind turbines can get damaged, and since they need to be repaired quickly, wind turbine mechanics are on the job. These slightly insane, but definitely very brave men and women actually have to climb up these 350-foot high turbines with nothing more than the kind of rope harnesses rock climbers use. Then, while they're still moving, they have to latch onto the blades themselves, and then manually fix any holes with sanders and drills, all the while hanging 300 150 feet in the sky while the wind whips you around like a rag doll. With how wildly dangerous the job is,
man, hold your breath if you're waiting on me. You just might need to move to a different house where it got better power. They got power, because it's up to me. Fam, the turbine is still moving. Turbine, however you say it. It's still moving. And we had to climb up there, and we did it by harness. And it's high up in the air. And I gotta attach to it and work off of it while it's moving, bro. Yo, man, I'm telling y'all, man, start saluting these guys and women that are doing these jobs. We need them.
You'd think wind turbine technicians would take home a hefty paycheck, but on average, they only make about $53,000 a year. Well,
still not enough.
There are people out there who like climbing to death-defying heights for free, so it's probably pretty cool to get paid to do it. Gardener. Well, being a gardener might actually look like one of the safest jobs around, not worthy of a spot on this list. Looks can be very deceiving, especially when it comes to plants. Some of the most beautiful plants can be some of the most deadly.
Yep.
At the Poison Garden in England, you'll find some of the most beautiful and the most deadly plants in the world. And
wow.
Where there's a garden, there needs to be a gardener. Started by the Duchess of Northumberland as a morbidly fascinating tourist attraction, every plant in the garden is poisonous, with some being able to kill you with just a few drops of their juice, or burn your skin for up to 7 years. As a very well-advised precaution, the gardeners at this truly unique site have to wear protective clothing to cover their skin, eyes, mouths, and face so they don't come into contact with any of the lethal foliage. That's one tourist attraction I think I'll stay far away from.
For 7 years? Imagine something for 7 years burning you, bro. It's like an STD or something like that. Golly, fam. Seriously. Listen, man. That's crazy, man. I salute every one of those workers in those jobs and in those fields, man. It's a dirty job, but somebody got to do it. And I'm just thankful that there are people out there who want to do it, man, because whew, they had to force people to do it. I don't know, man. I just don't know. But I feel like they should get paid more. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, man. 50,000, 60,000. I just don't feel like that's enough and I say the same thing about what I was doing. I was a firefighter. And I say the same thing about police officers, teachers, and different things like that, man. Some of the jobs, though, when you put your life on the line for them, you don't know if you'll make it home that day. You should be well compensated. You know what I'm saying? And some of these guys work 2 and 3 jobs. So that right there should go to show you that they're not making enough. You know what I'm saying? So, but y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned, man. Until the next reaction, I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid.